In the professional world, one thing is for sure: problem solving is a vital skill if you want to survive and thrive. Some people see problems as roadblocks, while others see them as opportunities. It's important to teach your team strategies to help them quickly overcome obstacles in the way of achieving project goals. Let's take a closer look at some of the most important problem-solving skills. 12. Critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to analyze information, identify patterns and relationships, and draw logical conclusions. It involves evaluating the validity of information, making judgments, and solving problems based on evidence and data. Critical thinking requires an open mind, the ability to ask questions, and a willingness to consider multiple perspectives. It involves evaluating the validity of information, questioning assumptions, and challenging established beliefs and ideas. Critical thinking requires the ability to analyze complex information and identify the underlying causes of problems. Once potential solutions have been identified, critical thinking also involves evaluating the potential outcomes and weighing the pros and cons of different options. This requires a strong understanding of cause and effect relationships and the ability to predict how different factors may impact the outcome. 11. Creativity. Creativity is the ability to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions to problems. It involves generating new ideas, making connections between seemingly unrelated things, and approaching problems from different angles. Creativity requires a willingness to take risks, experiment, and think unconventionally. One must be creative to handle problematic situations. This not only helps in designing more straightforward and varied solutions, but also in comprehending the problem from various angles. It is essential to know the different sides of the issue before tackling it. Being creative always helps managers to handle the problem better in any company. 10. Problem identification. Problem identification is the ability to recognize when there is a problem that needs to be solved. It involves identifying the underlying cause of the problem, understanding its scope and impact, and recognizing the urgency of the situation. Problem identification requires attention to detail, the ability to gather information, and an understanding of how different factors contribute to the problem. It is one of the most important and probably the finest skills required for problem solving in any domain. It is essential to assess the situation and know what's wrong. The diagnosis of the problem is the first and foremost thing to be done. Managers in any business domain need to know what the business is going through and what are its shortcomings. 9. Analysis. Analysis is the ability to break down complex problems into smaller, more manageable components. It involves examining the different factors that contribute to the problem, identifying patterns and trends, and understanding the relationships between different elements. Analysis requires the ability to think logically, organize information, and identify cause and effect relationships. An analysis is the major part of any problem-solving assignment and is hence regarded as a crucial skill. The analysis includes everything related to the inside of the problem. Businesses can go on analyzing the current situation of the company and how the issue is going to affect the business. Sometimes some diseases are self-treatable. Similar goes for businesses. Some problems occur and go away. Some need a proper solution and execution. It can only be assessed if the manager holds appropriate analyzing skills. 8. Decision-making. Decision-making is the ability to evaluate different options and choose the best course of action. It involves weighing the pros and cons of each option, considering the potential outcomes, and making a judgment based on the available evidence. Decision-making requires good judgment, the ability to consider multiple perspectives, and an understanding of the consequences of different choices. Effective decision-making involves a systematic approach to problem-solving, including identifying the problem, gathering relevant information, evaluating potential solutions, and selecting the best course of action. This requires a deep understanding of the factors that influence the decision, including the needs and preferences of stakeholders, the potential risks and benefits of different options, and the long-term implications of the decision. One of the key challenges of decision-making is dealing with uncertainty and ambiguity. Effective decision-makers are able to gather and analyze data, identify trends and patterns, and make informed decisions despite incomplete or uncertain information. communication. This requires the ability to think critically, to evaluate different perspectives, and to be open to alternative solutions. 7. Communication is the ability to convey ideas and information clearly and effectively. It involves listening to others, expressing oneself clearly, and adapting one's communication style to different audiences. Communication requires good interpersonal skills, the ability to give and receive feedback, and an understanding of how to convey information in a way that is understandable and engaging. This is something that not only helps in problem solving, but in all significant life events. From business management to personal life, this is a must-to-have skill. An excellent communicator can easily influence and convey information to the others. An action team working on a problem must hold excellent communication skills. Lack of proper communication will directly affect the cooperation of the fellow members. B schools focus on this majorly, and so does everyone. 6. Collaboration. Collaboration is the ability to work effectively with others to solve problems. It involves sharing information, working towards a common goal, and supporting others in the team. Collaboration requires good interpersonal skills, the ability to communicate effectively, and an understanding of how to work toward a shared goal. This point doesn't need any explanation. Employees and managers in any business must hold this skill to work on any problem in a better manner. Any problem-solving process can be made simpler if an action team handles it. Moreover, the task gets divided, hence the overall efficiency increases. Don't confuse it with teamwork. By collaboration, we mean collaboration from external sources. Sometimes tackling a problem is not entirely in our hands. Hence, it is essential to be skilled enough to get collaboration from external sources. Depending upon the nature of the problem, businesses can ask other businesses to assist in the action plan. 5. Leadership. Just as teamwork skills, leadership is one of the musts to have expertise in the leaders of any business. You must know how to make your team work for something. However, it doesn't mean acting like a dictator instead of being polite and generous with the fellow members. Managers must know how to motivate their team to work for something. A perfect team without an ideal leader is just like another loser team whose loss is evident. 4. Adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to adjust to changing circumstances and to overcome obstacles. It involves being flexible, resilient, and able to think on one's feet. Adaptability requires a willingness to learn from mistakes, the ability to remain calm under pressure, and the ability to think creatively when faced with unexpected challenges. 3. Risk management. In any problem-solving assignment, it is essential to manage the risk appropriately. Finding a perfect solution is never easy. Just like the side effects of medication, there could be side effects of a solution. Businesses must be ready to tackle those side effects. Managers should hold this skill to assess the risk accurately and act accordingly to minimize their effect. Risk management is an important problem-solving skill that involves identifying, assessing, and mitigating potential risks and uncertainties. This is particularly important in business and project management, where risks can have significant financial and operational impacts. Effective risk management requires a systematic approach to identifying potential risks and evaluating their likelihood and potential impact. This involves analyzing different scenarios, considering the probability of each scenario, and determining the potential impact on the project or organization. 2. Implementation. After detecting a perfect solution, it is essential to implement that correctly. Poor implementation can ruin the entire effort made by the action team. Hence, the team must hold this skill to implement the plan well. A cricket team may develop a perfect strategy to win a match, but poor execution can turn the situation entirely, and a better team may end up losing in the end. The same goes for the business. Nokia's poor performance in the mobile market leads them to lose the firm grip they had on it. 1. Monitoring. Monitoring is vital to check how the plan performs and remove any potential threat. The action team must hold this skill to keep a continuous track of how the implemented plan performs. It can then detect and remove any shortcomings which may not be visible while planning. Sometimes it may be required to switch between the plans after the execution. Hence, the business and the team must be ready for any situation in the problem-solving assignment. Monitoring is a critical problem-solving skill that involves keeping track of progress, identifying potential issues, and making adjustments as necessary to ensure success. This skill is essential in a variety of contexts, including project management, business operations, and personal goal setting. Effective monitoring requires setting clear goals and benchmarks, tracking progress towards those goals, and evaluating performance against established metrics. This involves collecting and analyzing data, identifying trends and patterns, and identifying areas where performance may be lagging or falling short. By developing these key problem-solving skills, individuals can become more effective at solving problems and achieving their goals, both personally and professionally. Thanks for watching.